Glory to the Swarm, brothers and sisters. I am your cult leader, Cheese, and today we shall explore just what exactly is the gospel. For too long you've listened to the heretical teachings of the standard Andy. Today we shall rise together as one and go forth to proselytize to the masses. Join the cult, spread the gospel, rise in the ranks, and achieve new heights. First, what is the gospel? For anyone unfamiliar, this is a strategy centered around using an extremely aggressive Rhino Wasp flank designed to overwhelm and overrun the opponent. The goal for the formation is to be able to rapidly deploy, level, and upgrade 3 Wasps, 2 Rhinos, and 3 Crawlers into your opponent's flank as quickly as possible. This will usually take 2 to 3 turns to fully come online, but once it does, if your opponent doesn't have an answer ready, they will be scrambling as you march over the shattered husks of their poor defenses. For this to be effective, first we have to make sure we have the right techs equipped to our Rhinos and Wasps. First, the mighty Rhino, the scourging stampede, the unstoppable tank who shall lead the swarm to glory. There are many great options when it comes to the Rhino, but there are a few I consider non-negotiable. First off is armor enhancement. For 200 supply, this increases the Rhino's hit points by 50% and blocks 60 damage from each attack per level. It really can't be understated just how important this technology is to making the gospel run. A standard response to wasps appearing in the flank often includes units with rapid fire and low amounts of damage, like mustangs, fangs, and typhoons. A level 2 rhino with armor will silence these heretical responses. The other non-negotiable tech is power armor. For 300 supply, this increases the rhino's HP by 25% and grants immunity to slow. Slow from oil, missiles, degen beam, and even towers. Completely negated. This allows for the Rhino to stay in front of our wasps and lead them to the promised land. The next 2 techs are just as important, but a case can be made depending on the overall playstyle for the others. But for now, we'll focus on the basic tenets of the gospel. And with that, the next tech is Whirlwind. For 250 supply, the Rhino single target attack becomes an AoE that deals an additional 50% damage to all targets in melee range if there's more than one to hit. This is a great way to keep chaff from getting out of hand. At higher levels, this tech effectively clears entire packs of medium-sized units cleanly and efficiently. And last, but certainly not least, photon coating. For 300 supply, the Rhino will take 30% less damage for the first 25 seconds of a round, and on top of that, become immune to EMP, Ignite, Acid, and even Degen Beam's debuffs. I consider this tech to be non-negotiable unless you have a plan to make sure you can share it with your Rhinos another way, like Farseers. After all, we're putting our faith in these Rhinos, and we need to give them all of the tools to succeed. Now, let's move on to the Wasp and give thanks to Bearlike for this amazing jack of all trades, master of all unit. The only downside to Wasps is we have to pick 4 techs, but if I could have all of them, I would take them all. For the gospel to be successful, these are techs I have found through testing to be absolutely necessary to achieve the right mix of deadliness and tempo. First up, the tech that makes the whole thing go, range enhancement. For 300 supply, the attack range of the Wasp is increased from 50 to 90 meters. This can be critical in the early phases of deploying the flank for survivability and gaining quick levels. This is 95% of the time the first tech that I will take in a match. It allows for Wasp to stand toe-to-toe with Mustangs until a Rhino can be brought into the fray. It also keeps the Wasp far enough back behind the Rhinos when the opponent clicks anti-air on their units so that they are not immediately targeted. Next up, we have ground specialization. For only 200 supply, we can triple our Wasp attack versus ground units. This tech absolutely deletes defenses of all sizes if the Wasps are not dealt with quickly. It also makes short work of leveled towers. And it's only 400 supply to activate after you've enabled your range, which is still a great deal. Seriously, this tech's amazing. After this, the last non-negotiable tech is aerial specialization. Again, for only 200 supply, we can increase our attack versus air units by 90% and also the range by another 30 meters. So with just technology, we can reach out to 120 meters for opposing aerial attempts to hold back the swarm. Typically wraiths, occasionally boats, wasps, and even phantom wraiths on the rare occasion. The last core tenet of the gospel is energy shield. For 300 supply, this will add survivability to the wasps versus fortress anti-air, missiles, orbital bombardments, and will essentially double their health. Being able to come through AA barrages with minor losses can turn a close fight into a lopsided victory. Now for the ground rules. Rule number 1, commit to the bit. This is a strategy that may not pay off the first or even second turn of deployment, but if you commit to the bit, good things are coming your way. Put your faith in the swarm and the swarm shall provide. One of my favorite things to say is there are few problems in life that cannot be solved with more wasps and more rhinos. Rule number 2, we deploy level 2 rhinos. Period. Level 1 rhinos are great, but we deploy level 2 rhinos. They add a significant amount of survivability and can overwhelm the defenses. Rule number 3, range your wasps. Typically, the turn after you've deployed your wasps into the flank, you will want to deploy crawlers in front to act as a missile screen and range for the wasps. Standard response will be maybe a pair of mustangs, maybe some fangs, a typhoon, sometimes a wraith. Putting range on your wasp will allow you to have a chance to deal with the first response before you have a tank in place to hold up any anti-air defenses. Rule number 4, loan aggressively. Even if it's just for temporary range and speed, it can be the difference between an overwhelming victory and staggering defeat. All right. Here is a gameplay example. We are offered aerial specialist and take it pretty quick. Rhino specialist, speed specialist, aerial specialist, these are all great specialists for the gospel. Quick supply, fortified. Really, there's not a bad specialist. Giants, not so great, just because we're not looking to build a lot of giants. But as you can see here, we've got tarantulas and void eyes. This gives us a decent asymmetrical aggro push. We're going to take the tech on the void eyes, buy a couple of crawlers, and we're going to make our attempt to push through one side of the opponent's defense. Opponent takes a couple of fangs, sticks them behind their tower with their stormcallers and hounds, and they are a saber-tooth specialist. Void eyes are doing a pretty good job of pushing through the hounds, getting stuck on the fangs, but our crawlers are running in, causing some problems. Allows our tarantulas to get caught up and some crawlers to get in. And a pretty good first round. Take the tower, clean up the rest of the fangs, the rest of the stormcallers. We're now thinking, how can we press our advantage? Opponent doesn't have a lot of flank defenses or units that would be used in a flank defense, so we're thinking, okay, maybe round 2 we can make a transition. Round 2, Wasp is offered, not a lot of good Wasp counters, so it's a quick pick of the Wasp for us. We immediately put them into our flank, buy 2 more, and put them into the flank as well, spread out by 3 spaces to make room for rhinos or wraiths or farseers. We stick them on the back line because we'll stick our crawlers here, here, and here in front to act as a missile screen next round. And then we'll also get rhinos and stick them in between. Tech armor on, get range on our wasps. The opponent takes crawlers, they add the phoenix, and they add another pack of hounds with all of that. Unfortunately, none of that's really going to do a great job for them against the wasp flank. They do have some fangs. They're able to kill a few of them, but we're just able to overwhelm the flank and come in and take the tower. Our tarantula void eye frontline combo is doing a really good job of pushing in as well. This hound is running free over here and it's a problem when we get to our tower, but it's a problem we're going to have to deal with when we can. We're not there yet. We are focused on establishing our flank. And now they really have to answer this flank over here. Okay, so round 3, we'll get more reinforcements. None of these are really great for us, so we'll skip. Mass-produced wasps don't really work in the gospel. Absorption module can be really good, but we also need 650 supply. So we're going to buy 3 crawlers like we talked about, stick them in the flank immediately to act as that missile screen. And then with the other 300 supply, we're going to take range on our wasps. The opponent buys mustangs, sticks them in the flank, adds range as well. Not a bad response. Pretty good this round, but pretty easily countered as well by the rhinos we know we're going to add. So the range does help them here. Normally, we want the wasp to have range so they can be about the same range as the mustangs when they're first deployed. Because he takes range, they're able to lock on a little bit quicker. Luckily, we are able to push through and take the tower with our frontal attack. We will wind up losing the round because of these phoenixes. We've run out of upshoot. As you can see, this tower is taken again by the hound. The hound has gained a level, and that's going to be problematic for us. Next round, we get the choice of portable shield, intensive training, or efficient tech research. They're all great choices for us. We're going to take the intensive. We want to get some big rhinos. So first the thought is to buy a rhino, give it intensive, make it level 2. Then we look at our cash and go, we only have 400 left. It's going to cost 100 for elite recruiting. And then we're going to wind up in the same boat. All our supplies spent, but only 1 rhino. Think about taking a wraith, move away, undo everything, come back, elite recruit 2 rhinos. We're following the gospel. If it ain't broke, why fix it? Opponent's going to take mech rage. They take defense 1. They level up this hound. They take temp speed. They level up this hound as well. I wish we had money to upgrade these. Unfortunately, we don't. We do take the intensive, put it on this rhino. We want to make sure it has as much health as possible since there's a saber tooth right there, just to last as long as possible to absorb all the shots from these mustangs. As you can see, even without armor, these level 2 rhinos have 38,000 HP. They are doing a great job of tanking as our wasps slowly work their way through, chewing up all of the ground defenses. So that tower timing is a big problem. These fast hounds wind up getting our rhinos killed, our wasps die, and it's another win for the opponent. Pretty big one too. That's okay. Rule number 1 of the gospel is commit to the bit, and we're going to do that. This time we're offered Phantom Rays. Great for us. They add it as an additional air rhino almost. Opponents got mustangs already, so they're probably not going to take typhoons. Farseers aren't back as they can EMP, and they can upshoot. The arc lights can also be an option. We do have 3 packs of chaff over there. Don't really expect them to take the Phantom Rays, but we'll put 2 in the flank. We'll sell 1 of them. We buy the armor tech. We level up all of our wasps. And you see they take the arc lights. They take the EMP. It's a really good counter to the armor rhinos this turn. Take the beacon. So we're trying to beacon through the mustangs. We're trying to hold their attention as long as possible, especially when they take AA. It also helps us from getting stuck on these crawlers and wandering off into La La Land. They also take a pack of steel balls. Those steel balls are there to take care of the rhinos, but this rhino already has 86,000 health. We take 2 crawlers, we put them in our front just to act as a little screen, and also some more pressure. We take speed, and we're off to the races. So see how this rhino gets in, but unfortunately gets turned because they're in EMP, they just melt very quickly. Luckily, we've got a great push coming from the front, so we're able to continue to make it through. These Phantom Rays are acting as a screen. We're able to get into the tower. We're able to clear all of the Mustangs. We did also level up this tower. As you can see, this town is no longer a problem. It's been effectively neutralized, and we are able to clean up. Now our rhinos didn't survive, so that means that they just don't have enough tech yet. $700. Okay. So round 6. Our intensive's back up. Efficient tech research is offered. Heavy armor is offered. Those are both great options. We never look at mass-produced Rhino when we're running the gospel. That's not what we do. Right now we're debating between efficient tech and the armor. We wind up taking efficient tech research and immediately take photon on the rhinos. You see this EMP is a problem. We level up this rhino. We now have 2 level 3 rhinos. So that's 2 rhinos with 87,000 HP that are essentially immune to these mustangs. We still need to get through the steel balls, the fortresses, the saber tooth, but as long as we survive that, we're good. Over here, we add another rhino and a wasp, and we beacon directly into the tower. We've kind of left this side alone. We stopped our losses against their rhino. Now we're going to start pressing our advantage. We've got a pretty good setup over here on the left side. We're able to continue to push. We do sell the tarantula. We take temp range. We take temp speed. We take defense 1. Now have 95,000 HP on our rhinos, plus a 30% damage reduction from photon and armor. These things have an effective hit points probably close to 150,000, maybe more. We've got a level 3 wasp over here now. We'll easily take this tower. Our rhinos walk in. Not really affected by the arc lights, not affected by the fortresses. We take some losses in the wasp, but overall, a really good round for us. And we hit the opponent for 1,600 damage. So now we get another drop here. Options are defensive tactics, offensive tactics, underground threat, or absorption module. I've used all of these with the gospel. The absorption module, though, is the pick here because we have this really big rhino, 150,000 HP, triple teched. We're just thinking this thing's never going to die. We want this to be our unstoppable tank. Now, over here we take shield on the wasps, undo it, decide that's not what we want right now. We want ground spec, so we want to push through all this as hard as we can. Got lone, range, speed, crawlers. We'll put crawlers over here to help protect our rhino. Take the level. We now have 2 level 3 wasps on the flank over here. As you can see, they're doing significant damage every round. We're still pressing in from the front. They haven't really done anything to address it. We do sell the tarantula. We upgrade the other wasps. And then we use our beacon. We're trying to push into the tower. We take attack 1 as well. So if you look at these wasps, these level 3s are, each one is hitting for 2,000 damage per shot. So then you added ground spec, so that's almost 6,000 damage per shot, and we've got 12 wasps over here. It just obliterates giants. Now we are getting eaten up a little bit by the anti-air barrage, but as you see, we do take the right tower. We lost the left flank. But again, this isn't anything that we can't solve with more tech. We've got a pretty strong flank. We wind up losing this round. We do some damage control here. So we're going to take a little bit of damage. But we're in a really good spot. We're essentially 1 round away from closing it out. We just need to make sure we can do so. So here we get a unit drop. Not a great option for us. And here we can take the melting point and sell it. Sledgehammers can act as another secondary tank for the wasps. Raidens don't really do a lot for us, and the Typhoons at this point, we don't want level 1 Typhoons. So opponents leveled up. We now have our 4th tech on the Rhinos. They will no longer be slowed, which was our big problem last round. The missiles wound up slowing them over here, and so they weren't able to get in effectively to deal with everything in tank for the Wasps. We now have a level 4 Wasp. I did 135,000 damage last round, range and speed. We're going to add some more Wasps. We wind up selling one of the sledgehammers, put the other one in the flank. The opponent is going to put a Phoenix in the flank down here. Really good move by them. This is our undefended tower. We've been defending it purely by pushing so hard into it. So nice catch by him. We're going to come over here and add a couple of Wasps here in a second just to continue to push this right tower. The opponents added steel balls and mustangs. That didn't help. They added now a multi-melter. It's not going to be enough. They don't have anything to really slow down. We now get that anti-missile device though. So we now have our screen as well as our 4-tech Rhino and our ground spec Wasps. And you can see this flank just, or this side just melts. Not enough damage. Same thing on our gospel flank. If not for that tower timing, that was game over. So again, great move by the opponent here, playing these Phoenixes. Unfortunate here for us. Trying to get this multi-melter. Don't quite get it down. So our level 1 Rhino over here is going to be a little too late. We will do some cleanup and some damage control, but pretty not great showing for us. Multi-melter never comes into range, we don't get to clear it. Both giants survive with a sliver of health, takes us down to 1,000. It's really anyone's game at this point. Nukes are offered, nothing else here is really interesting at this point. We need to deal with this flank, so a missile down here, we take the nuke. Great nuke target right here. We're holding them up with all of this stuff over here. They sell out of their balls, put the absorption module on their multi-melter. We've got levels galore. We've now got level 4 Wasps. We've got shields on the Wasps. It's going to help them against both the Fort AA and also if they get stuck in the nuke and still have shields, they'll be alive without shields after the nuke hits. It'll be great. Over here, as you can see, we've taken some levels. Take the level on the Rhino. We've loaned range and speed. We got a new beacon now. We're trying to come inside. This is just trying to get to the tower more efficiently. Last time, our Rhino wound up over here with the hounds. And there's enough stuff there that it could be a problem. So we need to distract this back half, and what we'll do is we'll put a crawler back here. It's going to pull the mustangs, it's going to pull the balls, it's going to pull the melting point and the hounds, and it's just going to give us an opening. Another pack of wasps, a missile here for this chaff. I'll pick another multi-melter and put it on the inside here. Not a bad move, but it's not going to work out for him, unfortunately. So we're able to push through the chaff. Everything over here is pulled backwards, leaving us wide open. Crawlers wind up eating the missile. We take the tower. The nuke is going to hit. It only hits our wasps that have full shields. We take the other tower, and all of the giants are gone. And after that, the game is over. Great game by Slin. Good defense. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're a fervent believer in the gospel, let us know in the comments. If you're a blatant heretic, tell us how we're wrong in the comments. We will be deep diving into the gospel strategies, talking more about technologies, and alternative unit compositions as well. So make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the latest gospel of the Rhino Wasp Cult. I am your cult leader, Cheese. See you in the next one.